That's the only remaining 100% side in the league, 4 wins from 4. The Knights and the Panthers are also unbeaten, but on 7 points with 3 wins and a draw each. Raiders and Storm have 6 points. Roosters, Cowboys, Sea Eagles, West Tigers and Broncos are all on 4 points with a 50% record. The Sharks, the Bulldogs, the Rabbitohs, the Warriors and even the Titans have 1 win each. The Dragons sit bottom on 0 points. Sarah, do you want to tell us what the fixtures we've got to look forward to next week are?
I'd love to. So on Thursday at 10:50am, Friday 9am is the Warriors against the Cowboys, and following that at 10:55 is the Eels against the Panthers. Saturday at 6am is the Rabbitohs against the Titans, followed by the Knights against the Storm at 8:30, and finally on Saturday it's the West Tigers against the Raiders at 10:35. On Sunday at 7:05, the Bulldogs against the Roosters, followed by the Dragons against the Sharks at 9:30 on Sunday.
You would have thought they'd have buried the Dragons versus the Sharks in the early morning slot of one of them days, rather than have the one people are actually going to be paying attention. But there you go. Sarah, the last thing to talk about on the NRL is kind of getting a catch up on where you are, because before the resumption we left you kind of leaning towards being an Eels fan. So where are you at now in that journey?
I'm definitely an Eels fan. I've gone with Joshua, and we're definitely Eels fans. So
in that case, that's why Joshua said it was nothing to look at here completely.
Yes, yeah. But so because he's gone back to school, he's doing 4 days a week, and then on Friday they're deep cleaning the school, and so he's doing Monday to Thursday. So great, Eels against Panthers Friday, perfect. Apart from his trombone lesson is now at 11:30 on Friday, so that's sad.
That's a shame. You'll have to get Grandad to record it and go watch it in Grandad's garden.
Oh. Well, when Joshua found out about the changes, he did ask if Grandad could come round and if they could watch it like out in the garden, sitting 2 meters apart.
Excellent. So, Dom, have you got yourself an NRL team?
I mean, you've got to go with Hall, haven't you? You got to follow with the Roosters. Like I was, I've not really followed it for a while, but now they're showing every game. I might as well watch it when I can. But you got to follow my boy Ryan Hall, the piano playing winger.
Have you been able to put a game on whilst you're doing your run on a Friday morning?
No, because. So I tried it. I tried putting like YouTube on or something like that, and music on, but then YouTube content IDs and stops the stream. So I can't listen to anything. So I do it with no music, no nothing. And then the only thing I have for entertainment is people that come on the live chat and just chat to me during the race. But there's really nothing like that. I would say for the last
I enjoy that point of the race every week where Scarlett and Heather get up and are in the background.
yeah.
Just doing normal stuff.
The last two kilometres, yeah.
So no NRL on a Friday morning for you, but I'm particularly looking forward. Eels versus Panthers. That's 2 unbeaten sides, 2 sides that we weren't expecting to be successful this year. I wonder if I'm going to get to watch that live, given it's my wife's birthday on Friday. We shall see. We'll see.
Do the right thing.
What, and let her have a lie-in? That's the right thing, isn't it?
That actually would be a lovely thing to do, yes. But,
We'll see how we get on. I'm probably going to just end up only watching the Dragons versus Sharks and hating the fact that that's the match that I have to fucking watch this week. But, NRL will keep seeing us through, and if you do watch any old games from the Super League and otherwise as well, get those fan reviews in too, and we'll talk about those next week. But we're now going to get onto the main topic-ish of this week's show. Not the main topic, but the Dom topic of this week's show, which is fan engagement during the lockdown. And side note, let's find out who Dom's been pissing off.
Okay.
Okay, guys, so one of the main reasons we got Dom on, other than that we love Dom, and it's great to catch up with Dom, is a week ago, Dom, you sent me a message sort of saying, oops, I think I've upset someone. And and it was sort of about your kind of the way you feel as a fan you've kind of been engaged with during lockdown in a way, broadly speaking. I don't want to put noises in your mouth sort of thing, but it got us to thinking about how well have clubs done at dealing with the fans during this time, this difficult time. Difficult for the clubs, difficult for the fans. So we wanted to get a sense of where you guys, the fan base, were at, which we're part of, we're at with how things have been going in terms of the way your club have been in touch with you during this, or what sort of content the clubs have been giving you during this, and then maybe talk about a few ideas that Dom's had in particular that he feels like might be a way to help make it even better, and with clubs making sure that they keep the fans on board during this time. So we did a couple of polls over the weekend. The first poll was, how much have your club done to engage with you remotely during the season lockdown? And obviously the clubs are limited in what they can do because 95% of the staff, 99% of the staff are on furlough leave. So even the normal people that might be running some of the media stuff, the fan TV kind of content and stuff like that, aren't there. But with that parameters around it, how much has the club been done? So we sort of gave three options: regular online content, occasional online content, and little online content. And actually, people have scored their clubs quite favourably. So regular online content, people said 55% of people said that their club have provided regular online content. 32% of people said occasional online content, and then only 13% of people said little online content. So let's talk a little bit around that side of things first of all, the kind of engagement with online content. So Sarah, what have Hull FC been doing to keep you as a fan involved, and where would you rate on that scale between regular and little?
Well, it depends what you mean by engage with me. They have put some matches up online on Facebook and that, but in the last week or so, they've actually pissed a lot of people off, really, because they've now switched it to being on the Hull FC TV, which is fine if you have it, but it's 35 quid if you haven't got it to then get it, which, if you think people are still paying direct debits or they've paid out for the season pass and then the club's wanting you to pay another 35 quid out, it's a bit much, really, I think. So
you sort of think that for a while they were giving you regular content for fans to kind of watch, engage with, discuss.
Yeah, enjoy.
And then now it's kind of maybe got to a point where that's been withdrawn a little bit from the wider fan base.
Definitely, yeah.
So I guess kind of in this poll you'd have been probably at the start of the week been voting at the regular and now been voting at the little kind of thing. So maybe somewhere in the middle for Hull FC.
Yeah, I'm really struggling with knowing quite how to answer this one.
Yeah.
I think I've probably got more to say on the second one.
And Don, what about yourself with the Leeds Rhinos in terms of the kind of content they've been giving to you? What sort? How do you feel like that's been delivered? Has it been enough? Too little?
So before we get onto the ideas bit, let's talk about how this all started. So I received an email from Leeds Rhinos saying, "Hey, we've got a new heritage."
Well, let's leave that. Let's leave that to the second poll. Is that all right? Sorry.
No, because it's the second. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So this is more about the kind of content they've been giving you for you to sort of, kind of things like polls, quizzes, clips of old games, that sort of content. Sorry.
I would put it into regular online content.
Yeah. Again, like Hull, they had quite a lot of, vote in this poll, which is the best shirt, this one or this one, and things like that. So I guess, that has been sort of fun stuff.
Yeah. So Dom, have you had the similar experience with Sarah in terms of like the club were really good for a while and then it's kind of come to a point where the club have put it behind a paywall in terms of that online content?
No, it's just been very talked at. That's what it's been.
Yeah. So
I think Leeds. You know, to be fair to Leeds, they've actually stepped it up since I had a moan. But it's been the regular content that would go up on the site that feels a little bit scheduled, and also it feels like they've taken credit for some of the stuff the players have done, like the Dogcast.
Yeah.
That what's his name's done? He's suddenly Leeds Rhinos branded, and you're like, well, he can't do it for you at the moment because of the furlough, so he's doing it off his own back, but you're republishing it and taking credit for it, you know.
Yeah, this is Brad Dwyer, of course, who's and that has gone outside of the club boundaries in terms of the people he's engaged with on that as well, and it's entertained a lot of people, that's for sure. And he has some positive reinforcement messages out there, doesn't he, Brad Dwyer, which is great that he's out there doing some of the stuff he's doing. From a Wigan point of view, I echo kind of what Sarah says, apart from I do have the subscription to the Wigan Fan TV, not to the Wigan Fan TV. That's free. That's what we do on a Wednesday night when I'm as drunk as I am now. The Wigan TV subscriptions. But at the start, they had a month where it was free. Wigan TV, when lockdown was at its height, and then they scaled that back. And now what they do is they'll do a game on a Friday evening on the YouTube channels and that sort of stuff. That'll be free. And then in between times they'll do some quizzes, some competitions. They were very, very good when it was like, let's say, proper lockdown, getting new stuff up every single day. Warriors at home, they sort of labelled it, and they did it day after day after day after day with a different theme and stuff, and then that's tailed off. So I think I'd be ticking regular online content, but I think I'd be, if you asked me in another week, it'd go down each week, probably. So I kind of get where you were coming from, Sarah, as well with that. But I think most fans are satisfied that the clubs have at least been trying to provide some sort of content for them to be engaged with their club about. The second poll we asked was, how well have your clubs kept in touch to update you with what's going on at the club or in the sport? And so we gave 4 options to this poll. The first option was regular contact, second was occasional contact, the third was little contact, and the fourth option was only to sell stuff to me. So, Dom, I think this poll probably drives at where the starting point was. So do you want to sort of get us back into that story?
Yeah, okay. So, right. Leeds Rhino sent an email out saying, we've got a heritage shirt, an old replica shirt coming out. Come and buy it. So I clicked through, and I thought it would be something to do with the foundation. First of all, I thought it'd be a charity shirt they'd be bringing out to raise a bit of money. And I looked at it, and first of all, it looks terrible. It looks really cheaply done. But aside from that,
I mean, it looked great if they made it in cotton, but because they've just done it all laser printed onto plastic shirts. Yeah.
And with the sponsor logos on, and as a way maybe of appeasing them this season, things like that. And I just didn't like it. But apart from the fact that I didn't like it, I sort of looked through all the emails that Leeds Rhinos had sent to me, and apart from looking at like match replays and a letter from GH himself 3 days previously, which feels times to, we've got a sales email, we better send them something else. They basically only emailed about, like, we've got a one-day club shop email, or we're replaying a match replay. And I tweeted that I was a little bit put out that it just felt a bit shitty, that at the moment, the fans are still paying for season tickets. They're still paying on a monthly retainer for a lot of them. And realistically, we're not going to see a game anytime soon. But the clubs are asking for more money going to the fan base that are already. And I just felt like they hadn't actually. Rugby league is one of the most approachable sports in the world for player access and interactivity and things like that. And it just felt like that had all gone to the wayside. And there was an opportunity when the coronavirus hit for the clubs to actually bring together the community, even though we couldn't play, bring the season tickets holder together, give them some value in the time, rather than just leave it and hope that nobody asks questions. I appreciate